When we gather in this way, such as now, around the fire, people ask an important question. What is at the heart of this event that involves fire? To answer that, I want to share a simple but important story with you today. In a way, it's a story as old as we are as human beings, as people who have been here for a long time. It starts in the distant past, where the life and experiences that we all share began. In this story, there is a natural, mysterious world that exists before humanity arrives. We see echoes of this story in the sacred narratives of the indigenous people and on the spiritual path. At one time, we're just like the other animals living in a primal wilderness, like the Garden of Eden, when something unusual happened that would change our way of life. In this story, this something that was and is our special relationship with fire. And this is what occurred. The Huichols, indigenous people of the northwestern Sierra Madres of Mexico, say that before fire we moved in the world like the other animals. However, we didn't have claws, fangs, or wings. We didn't run on all fours or live under the water. We didn't have fur or hide like the others. We moved and roamed the land without shelter or center. Then something amazing happened. Fire arrived in our lives, and we developed a relationship with fire. Through the gift of fire, we now had light in the darkness and warmth in the cold. How and what we ate changed as we began to cook our food. Amazingly, this presence was much more than utilitarian. We gathered together in circle and found ourselves with the capacity to see the world in a different way than the rest of creation. Instead of living only in the immediate flow of the world like the rest, we are able to step back and reflect. For the first time, we could think about how to gather food or build a shelter. We could plan and coordinate our actions. We could think about how to do things differently or better. This mind that we found ourselves with is endlessly creative as a tool that can be applied for many practical situations. This mind changed our world forever. We built many types of shelters, we made clothing, hunted with implements, grew crops, and organized ourselves in fruitful ways as a village or culture or society. Not only allowing us to survive, but to thrive through methods the other animals did not have. However, we discovered through spirit that this gift came with a cost. This gift produced a split from the mysterious living creation of the world, leaving us feeling separate from others and the sense of who we are and how to move in the world in a good way. That voice, sometimes called the ego, if left to its own agenda, can produce extraordinary suffering and destruction. In this story, we received 5 basic antidotes to the drawbacks of this gift. We were given by spirits, we were given wisdom to illuminate the natural blindness and selfishness of the mind, and to show us how to better understand life, the world, each other, and ourselves, to help us live a good life from what can be learned, earned, and taught. We were given the traditions, how to gather as people and community to hold this wisdom, how we work with wisdom as the ever-unfolding mystery of life that produces change, how we preserve wisdom so that it can be passed on for future generations. We were given specialized emotions. We were given courage to overcome the natural fear in the mind. We were given gratitude to honor what we had perceived. We were given humor and laughter so that the burden of our separation from the rest of creation would be lightened. We were given a deep grief in order to help us let go of loss. We were given ceremony to help us transcend our sense of separation and to feel more closely connected to the mystery of the world, unperceivable by our minds. And we were given a way to keep fire as the expression of heart, connection, and transformation in order to keep us open when doubts and fears cloud our minds. For some peoples, special plants were given to support this, but for thousands of years throughout the many lands, we lived and remained devoted to these gifts, lived, shared with others, and passed from this world. For a long time, the mind has given us great advantages, and it was balanced by its special gifts, so that life could continue in a good way. However, over time, the voice of the mind has grown louder and that led to an imbalance. Wisdom was cast in doubt and later confused with information. Cultures dedicated to living in wisdom were overrun, neglected, or forgotten. Emotions became misunderstood. Ceremony was misjudged, unappreciated, or forgotten. And fire became either feared or highly controlled. Even in this time of great material and financial prosperity, we feel increasingly disconnected from ourselves, each other, and the natural world. Our sense of purpose and meaning is fading, while confusion, distrust, and false knowing are rising in its place. We are living in these times of confusion and imbalance now. Then once again, something amazing happened. While living in the central highlands of Mexico, a specter-like presence of an ancient indigenous man, who I would later learn was the spirit of fire, would appear to me and once again offer to help. Since then, this divine expression, who is often called Grandfather Fire, has been gathering everyday people such as us and provide guidance to how to move in life wisely, particularly in these difficult and changing times. From this, I and others were inspired to form a community known as the Sacred Fire. And we helped create a foundation known as Sacred Fire Foundation to preserve the wisdom held and honored from these original caretakers. And we developed a physical space in a beautiful natural setting of learning and healing in the ways of spirit, known as the Blue Center. As he did at the beginning, Grandfather Fire has once again appeared to help us in a time of difficulty and need, helping us rebalance the mind with the wisdom of the heart. Please join me in my work to help improve lives, yours, mine, and others, grow through these teachings. Thank you very much.